Kolbrin Bible, Book 2, Gleanings, Chapter 15, verses 47 through 49. The path of certainty requires austerity and great self-control. Few can achieve that constantly. However, even though it is the path of certainty, there are many paths, even though you may fall short from time to time. If your intent is to do good and you learn from the repercussions of your choices, then it is good in God's eye. GLN 1547. Man has two ways of knowing me. He can know me through his own spiritual awakening, or through the continued revelation of moral law and divine purpose by my inspired servants. To know me through a spiritually awakened self is the way of certainty, but few can suffer its austerities and disciplines. God does not deny you the joys of the material world, or he would not have made it possible. Moderation is the watchword. You may stray, but if you correct course, God is ever ready to embrace you. He is not the God of intolerance. He is not a God of vengeance. He may have stayed his hand from your experiencing the results of your actions, yet it is not from hate, but love for a rebellious child, who by their actions must now experience the results of those actions. GLN 1548. When the spirit of man is unawakened, he cannot know the great self within him, of which he is a part. Not knowing his true nature and unable to see clearly, he is blinded by material delusions. Would not the creatures of the night, which never see the sun, deem the moon to be the most brilliant light in the sky above? So it is with man walking in the darkness of spiritual unconsciousness. He says, I am the body, and the body is my whole being. And in the delusion of that belief, he becomes ensnared in an existence bound to matter, like the creatures bound to an existence in the night, which cannot know the glories of things flourishing in the brilliance of daylight. So it is with men, bound to the darkness of spiritual ignorance. Perception is the key. For us, we have no knowledge of what comes after the material world. Man always fears what he does not know, so he clings to the material world and believes God is wrathful, because God is interested in the souls, not the body. GLN 1549. As a shadow in the night is mistaken for an intruder, or a mirage is mistaken for a pool of clear water, so does the spiritually immature man mistake the material body for the whole living being. As the shimmering heat haze appears like solid water, so does the outer body appear as the whole being to the spiritually unawakened. As to a man in a moving boat, another boat lying still on the water will often appear to be moving, while he himself seems to remain still. So the unawakened spirit is deluded by appearances, seeing the mortal body as a whole being, when in fact the clouds are flying overhead. It appears as though the moon itself is speeding across the heavens. It is only the knowledge and experience we have of the skies above which tell us this cannot be the truth. Thus, it is with the spiritually unawakened man, who in his ignorance thinks the mortal body is the whole being, and having no knowledge or experience of the spiritual region, is deceived in fact. All the beliefs of man which hold that the mortal body is the whole being are generated in the darkness of ignorance. A man may be wise in the ways of men, but completely ignorant and unaware of the higher, more glorious things which are revealed in the light of the Spirit. I offer this as my opinion, but only we as individuals can know what is best for us. Be mindful of both negative and good outcomes, and make sure you act with caution. It isn't certainty that is offered like religions and leaders say they offer. They mislead you from ignorance or possibly a bit of selfishness. All the same, be mindful you do not ignore the warning hints provided within you. If it feels wrong, then find a better path.